Today's gonna be a good day. You know, we're gonna be talking about logo animations right here, along with some awesome lighting concepts, and we're gonna put logo animations and lighting concepts together to create a really awesome cinematic logo animation. And of course, I'm not talking about real lighting like I was pointing back here. I'm not sure if I pointed out that or not, but we're gonna be talking about lighting inside of After Effects, and we're gonna really create something fun. Hey, what's going on, internet? This is Josh Noel from SonduckFilm. Welcome to our channel. If you're new here, be sure to hit that subscribe button. I hope everyone is having a great day today, and this is gonna be an easy tutorial because I'm gonna break this up into parts so we can easily follow along with each step of the way. So that makes sense. Let's jump into the tutorial. Let's get started. So in our first technique, let's gain some momentum and let's talk about texturizing our logo. Now, of course, before we get into this, if you are on a time crunch or you're looking for some additional inspiration, I highly suggest taking a look at some of my favorite logo animation templates from some of my favorite creators. I will link them below, but if you're looking to bypass all the work, you can pick up one of these templates, plug your logo in and export it and have something done within a few minutes. But let's go and create something awesome. So right here we have our logo. I want to texturize this. So the first thing we're going to need is we're going to have a texture. So I have this texture right here, and remember, you can download our project files, get everything you need, and I'll bring this texture into our timeline underneath our logo. I'll turn it off. Click our logo, which I have it in a pre-comp position, so I can change out my logo. It's up to you. You don't have to do it. Go to Effect, Stylize, and we're going to grab Texturize right there. And we'll set our texture layer to that texture. We'll set our texture placement to stretch texture to fit, and that will look really nice. And you can adjust the light direction if you want, or increase the texture contrast. I want to keep those settings at default. One thing I want to do is kind of set the color of this. So we'll go to Effect, Generate, and we'll grab a gradient ramp. And I'll swap the colors, and what we'll do is bring this gradient ramp above our texturize layer. And we can come here, bring down this top point so the top is a little bit more white. And you get this nice subtle gradient here. And then I'm gonna go to Effect, Color Correction, Curves, and I'm gonna create a quick S curve to kind of make that texture pop a little bit more, to kind of make this entire logo just pop. And I like that. Very nice contrast that we just added. So now we have a very nice texturized logo with a little bit of style to it. Now that we have our logo texturized, I want to talk about one of the most overlooked aspects of a logo animation, which is the background. And I want to talk about how we can add some lighting concepts in that background to really marry the logo and the background together. All right, so the background is very easy to do, but I want to talk about some cool concepts. So we have a background layer in here. Remember, you can download our project file and get these assets. And I'll drop this at the bottom of our composition, and one thing you'll notice is a big background. I'll go ahead and kind of scale that down for now, and you know, that is cool. And I want to create a little bit more contrast in here because it's kind of blending in for our logo. So I'll go to Effect, Color Correction, Curves, and we want to be able to create a very nice dark scene here. So I'll go ahead and bring these down, kind of darken it up. You can always add a little bit of color if you want to. I would rather not for this tutorial, but I like to go to Effect, Color Correction, Brightness, and Contrast. I really want to make the background punch. So we're going to come into Brightness, and we're going to alt click the stopwatch for it. And we're going to type in wiggle, open parenthesis 5,30. And you can increase those values. So this is going to add a very nice subtle flicker to our background to kind of just bring it more to life. It's going to fall into the rest of the themes in this tutorial. But to really help punch this out a little bit more, I want our background to kind of look like it's actually in here with a shadow effect. So what I want to do here is grab our logo, duplicate it by going to Edit, Duplicate. We'll come here to bottom layer, we'll rename it the shadow, and I'll delete all the current effects that we have. We'll go to Effect, Blur and Sharpen, and we're going to grab CC Radial Fast Blur. Alright, we'll come here to Zoom, and we'll set this to Brightest. And I'm going to solo this layer really quick so we see what we're doing here. And I'm going to increase the amount up to like 90-ish% there. And I'm going to take the anchor point here in the middle and bring this up. You'll see that the shadow will be pointing downward. Then we'll go to Effect, Generate, Fill. Change this color to like black. And now I'll unsolo the layer. And, you know, it might be very subtle depending on where the background is at, but you know, it looks pretty cool. So one thing I also want to do, and this will kind of fall into our later technique, but it's going to be manipulating the lighting here real quick. So we'll grab our CC Radial Fast Blur, we'll add a keyframe for center, and we'll move this point like over here, and this will be like a nice little lighting effect. And we'll come here to the end of our animation. I'm going to say like 6 seconds, and I'll take this and I'll move it to the other side. So in a very subtle way, we'll be moving our shadow from left to right, and it's just a nice quick technique that looks great on our background. And especially when the background's a little bit brighter, you can obviously see this effect playing a much more dominant role. So now that we have a strong, base for our house to build on top of, or our logo animation in this case, let's go ahead and take our logo and let's animate it with some awesome lighting concepts. All right, so for some really cool lighting effects, we'll grab our logo and we'll go up to Effect, and we'll grab Generate, and we'll grab the CC Light Sweep effect. From here, we'll grab our anchor point right here, and we'll bring it off the logo down here in the corner. And we'll come here and begin for timeline, and we'll add a keyframe for center, and we'll come here to the end of our animation, and I'll bring this to the other side of our logo, where it's kind of off of it. Nice. And then I can scrub here to the middle, and I can start making some adjustments. So I'll come here to shape, and I guess it's linear, which will help out a little bit. And I'll come here to width, and I'll just go ahead and increase that. And we'll come here to sweep intensity. We can brighten that up. We can bring down the edge intensity by a touch, and also bring down the edge thickness to like 0.8. So we're just only lighting up the logo. So automatically, as this comes by here, boom, you get this nice little light reveal across our logo, and that's nice. We can set our reception to composite. You can also set it to cutout, and you're gonna get a really neat look, but make sure the light sweep is above all your other previous effects. All right, but we'll keep this at composite. I really like it there. And then we'll go ahead and add another light sweep. Go to Effect, Generate, CC Light Sweep again. Now from here, we'll grab this new one, and I want to start a little bit later. So we'll put this back in the corner here, and we'll come here to the beginning of our timeline again. We'll add a keyframe for center, and we'll move to the end once again, and we will move this kind of just to right here. So it won't come in at the same exact time. You see it has its own property. So what I'll do here is I'll set our sweep intensity way up to like 250. That's cool. And we come here and change our color. If you want to change the color, that's totally cool. I would just do like a dark color down here in this range. Now kind of help pump things out. We'll come here and adjust our settings a little bit later, but having a nice color in there, it's nice. So we can come here, scrub through this, and boom. And towards like the 5-second mark, what we can do is add a keyframe for sweep intensity, and just hit U on your keyboard to bring up the keyframes. Come here to the end, and we can bring our sweep intensity down to 0. And let's grab our sweep and make sure we put it above all the previous effects. Now please make sure that the gradient ramp is the top effect here, or you'll have some big issues with blending this all together. And speaking of gradient ramp, let's open this up. So let's come here to start color, and let's add a keyframe for start of color at a second. We'll come here to frame 12, and we'll set our color down to black. And you see now we're going to be able to reveal this on like this in a way, because it's very dark. And we'll come here to the end of our animation, and we can hit U on our keyboard, and we can add a keyframe for start color. And we can move forward here and set the color back down to black. So you see that other light sweep is going to make this look really nice. And then also what I want to do here is add a keyframe for start of ramp and end of ramp. And we'll hit U on our keyboard, come here to the end of our animation completely, and we'll take these anchor points and we can move them over to the sides like this, and this will completely change the lighting of the entire logo completely, and that's awesome. So now we have a nice awesome logo reveal with our lighting. We're not done yet, but this looks really cool. What I want to do here, just kind of tie the entire scene together, is we're going to go to Layer, New Adjustment Layer, and we're going to go to Effect, Color Correction, Curves. And what we're going to do is come here to begin of our timeline. At say like a second here, we'll add a keyframe for curves. And I'm going to darken down our scene completely. You can see that we're not going to be able to see our logo whatsoever, on the background. And then our logo is going to be revealed on. And we'll move forward here. And then we can brighten up our background. And we can move forward again, kind of darken it down. Move forward, brighten it up. And then at the end here, we can completely fade out the animation for our last keyframe. So this overall lighting animation is going to really help pump up the scene dramatically, but we're not done. I need to add one more thing, and then I think we'll be good to go. So we'll go ahead and create another adjustment layer, and we'll go to Effect, Stylize, and we're going to grab Vignette. Excuse me, CC Vignette. I mean, you got to be so specific. CC Vignette. You can't find Vignette. You got to find CC Vignette. All right, from here we can increase the amount, and you can change the angle of view if you want, kind of brighten up the edges, but we really could hone in on this entire animation, and this is nice. All right, so now with all these lighting concepts combined, we have a really cool reveal of our logo animation. It kind of fades up in there and then it fades away, and that looks really cool. So at this point, the entire logo animation has come together, and that is awesome. But we need to add one more thing, which is movement. We need to add overall movement to really just pull your audience into the logo. Very easy to do this. Go to Layer, New, Null Object. So what we want to do here is grab our logos, our shadow, and our background and parent it to the null object. All right, and we'll grab our null object and hit S on keyboard for scale and hit Shift R for rotation. We'll add a keyframe for both of these, and we set our rotation to like 12 degrees. All right, we'll come to our background and we'll scale up our background just by a little bit. Okay, and we'll come here to the end of our animation and we'll scale down our entire comp by a little bit to like maybe 70%. You can continue to scale up your background, and then we can set our rotation to like negative 12 degrees. Alright, and now with a quick render, that movement made a huge deal in our overall animation. You can turn on motion blur if you want to do that, but this looks really nice. Everything has come together. All these techniques have made this nice subtle logo reveal with some great options for additional color if you want to do that. To wrap up this video, I want to give a shout out to our motion graphics starter pack. So this is our motion graphics starter pack in its own After Effects extension right here. And this pack has 500 elements all built to help you save hours of time and help you produce amazing motion graphic work. It comes with over 150 motion graphics, over 200 title templates, animated backgrounds, transitions, and logo animations. We have built the motion graphics starter pack to help you save tremendous amount of time and help you produce amazing work. So if you're looking to increase the value of your work, get things done so much quicker, be sure to check out our motion graphics starter pack. That link will be in the description, and if you do pick it up, you will be supporting our channel, so thank you very much. So that wraps up this tutorial on creating a cinematic logo right here in After Effects using these really cool lighting concepts. I hope you found this tutorial fun, enjoyable, and easy to follow along with. And if you did, be sure to hit that subscribe button because we post multiple post-production tutorials every single week right here on the channel. You can also hit me up on my social media networks. Those links are in the video description, and always be creating.